In October 2001, a survey asked Americans whether they approved of military action in Afghanistan. The answer was overwhelmingly yes. In March 2003, they were asked about Iraq. Again, a broad majority were in favor. And on February 28, 2026, the United States and Israel launched a joint attack on Iran. So pollsters asked the same question. This time, the answer was very different. On the first day, approval in one poll stood at just 34%. No U.S. president in modern polling history has launched a major military operation with the public against it, until now. So what happens when a country goes to war and most of its people say we didn't ask for this? People in the U.S. have opposed this war from day one, and the longer it went on, the less they supported it. The first poll, just hours after the first strikes, showed that 43% of Americans disapproved. By the end of the first month, this grew to 61%. 1 month into the war, 2 out of 3 Americans wanted a quick end to it. So if the answer keeps coming back no, the question becomes why? The first reason is Americans don't understand why this war is happening. 2/3 say the Trump administration has not clearly explained the military's goals. The White House said Iran posed an imminent threat. Most U.S. citizens disagree. The second reason, people in the U.S. think this war actually puts their safety at risk. More than half believe Iran will become a greater threat because it's been attacked. The third reason, the war has already hit their wallets. Gas has risen by more than $1 a gallon since February 28th. The overwhelming majority expect prices to keep climbing. That belief crosses party lines. More than half say their household finances have already taken a hit. And when asked who deserves the blame for the price hike, 60% pointed at the president. His approval rating for handling the economy has now dropped to a new low of just 31%. A poll asked Americans whether the war was a good use of taxpayers' money. The majority said no. The question the U.S. is facing is whether that matters, whether the gap between what a government does and what its people want has consequences. Right now, the data says the same thing every week, and the war continues anyway.
Shalom, shalom. I want to start by giving all praises, glory, and honor to Lord Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakakadash. I'm building a pot from Great Millstone, Tampa. I want to give it to Barnes and Elders and Apostles of Great Millstone who teach and rule well. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect and the ones listening in. And I want to get into a quick lesson. I'm going to title this lesson, World War III will not just end because it is prophecy. All right. Or somewhere around those lines, it's, this war isn't just going to come to a stop anytime soon, man. All right. Until ultimately, the destruction of this place. Okay. Because it's Bible prophecy. It's been prophesied, in this video, it's explaining, how the mass feel about this war that's happening now. And majority of the people are against it. Majority of, America, Babylon is against the war. Okay. But it doesn't matter. Okay. Because no matter how many people are against it, no matter what people say or their opinions are, how many votes you get on the poll, it's not going to stop what's going to come here to Babylon. All right. So the real reason why this war is still even going is because it's Bible prophecy. It's already been prophesied. We are in the end times, so, with that, prophecy is being fulfilled and we're watching it. Everyone has to sit and watch. You can't do nothing about it. You can't stop it. No one can stop this war, not even Donald Trump himself. Okay. He can't even stop it himself because it's the Lord that's playing these cards right now. All right. And because of this war, people are getting afflicted, in all aspects, of life. Okay. Now the gas prices are going up. America's more divided as ever. So people are starting to, come up against each other. Okay. starting to riot and, do all these different protestings, no king protest. All right, in those protests, people are fighting each other. All right, so this is bringing America down to its knees, man. And this is what the Lord is doing, okay? Now I want to get this is 2nd Ezra chapter 15 and verse 1. Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will speak in thy mouth, saith the Lord. All right, or Salakia, which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord. All right, so we have been speaking the words of prophecy the Lord has put in our mouth. Brothers have been prophesying and telling you this is what's going to happen. We're going to go to war. All right. And even now we're telling you that, this war is not going to stop. That's prophecy as well. Okay. It's not just going to stop. Okay. There's going to be a lot more, dangerous and perilous times to come. Okay. It's not going to just blow over and like how the whole 2020 thing happened. All right. With the C-19. Oh, it blew over and everything. Somewhat, people felt like things got back to normal. No, man. All right. And even then, that never truly blew over. Each year there was more, chaotic events that happened after. Okay, so it's only going to get worse, man. All right, and this is what we're telling you. So the people, they want an end to this. People are seeking an end to, the war and their kids getting sent off. People are angry, man. The signs that are being put is, how many of our kids have to die? All right. How many of our kids have to die because their kids, a lot of children has, signed that contract to go into the army, either for benefits, all right, for a more stable career, but this is what come with it. Now they're trying to, oh no, our kids shouldn't have to die for Trump's selfish, plans. Nah, man. That's what they signed up for. That's what they signed up on the contract. Is if that does happen, if war does happen, they have to take a part of it. Okay, they have to be in it. That's the point of you being in the military, But times were so good for a point where America hasn't really seen war, since WWII. Okay, World War II. All right, America hasn't really seen war, or since the Afghanistan. They haven't really seen anything, So people thought they can just go into the military and they're gonna be good. You're not gonna get deployed anywhere. Nothing's gonna happen. But nah, man, not around this time. All right, and this was the worst time for Jake to be in that mindset of trying to join the war for the benefits. All right, because you're not just coming out with benefits, man. All right, you're not just going in there and you just gonna receive benefits. Now you got to see the downsides. All right, so this is what we tried to warn Jake about, because majority of Jake is in the military, man. A lot of Jake is in the military. They're serving the military. Now these things are happening. Now that these things are happening, they want to find ways to to get out or to run from it. But nah, man. All right. That's what you signed up for. This is what you chose. We told you. You didn't listen. Verse 2, it says, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. All right. So, these prophecies have been written on paper, the scriptures, man. All right. Now they're being manifested off the book. All right. And that's what it goes into in chapter 9, I believe. But now they're starting to manifest. All right. These end time prophecies, these signs, they're all starting to be manifested off the scriptures, bro. That's how powerful this book is. This is prophecy is in this book. History is in this book. Okay. Answers are in this book, man. And if Jake would have just read and take, the Lord serious, they would see these things, bro. And research, they would see these things and wouldn't get caught in the snare that they have been caught in. All right? Now they don't know what to do. Now they don't know what's happening. Now they don't know, what's going on. But we do. Okay? This is 2 Ezra chapter 9 and verse 1. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before. So we seeing these part of the signs, come to pass. All right. We already seen this, man. That's what comes with measuring the times diligently. Okay. Going back into the scriptures, reading, and seeing the prophecies that the Lord has written in the scriptures, man. Through His men. All right. And then we're correlating it with the times that we are in right now, from those prophecies. All right. That the Lord written. So Jake got to see it to believe it, but we didn't have to see it. All we seen was the scriptures, man, and we believed it. We heard the scripture, man, and we believed it. The Spirit has, been brought upon us. Okay. So everybody, in the world, they all spooked out and scared, and my kids are in the military. Nah, man, we good, man. That's them. But the men of the Lord, the prophets, brothers that's been going out every weekend, warning you niggas. We excited, bro. These are exciting times, man. All right? Because we tried to warn you. We tried to give you a heads up. But niggas wanted to mock. Niggas wanted to scoff. Now they trying to figure out a way to stop the war, making polls and trying to vote it. Nah, bro, that's not stopping nothing, man. Ain't nobody stopping the war, not Donald Trump himself. It says, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. So this is we coming into that time where the Lord is coming back to visit the world that he made, bro. This is why we tell you, bro, this is not just going to end here. All right? And it's not just going to end with the war. Okay? The Lord is coming back. Nukes are getting dropped. All right? More viruses are coming out. This is not just going to be a war, bro. It's more than that, bro. It's a whole bunch more that Jake going to have to face. That's going to make the war, least of your worries, man. When you hungry, when when the people are trying to come into your house and ravish your woman and kill you and your family, bro, ain't nobody going to be... You ain't going to be thinking about the war then, or your kids being in the military. Then it's going to be about survival, man. But this is prophecy, like I'm saying, bro. Thus says the Bible, bro. This is not just me speaking. The scripture says this. Okay? Now let's grab that real quick. I'm going to go back to 2 Ezra 9. But if you grab that, it says it right here. It says 2 Ezra 15 and verse 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein. Woe going to death and destruction. All right? Unto this world, man. So that's what's coming upon this place is death and destruction. So when I told you, bro, when I said it earlier, the least of your worries is going to be what's going on in Iran, man. When it's a time for you to seek out to save your life or survival, all right, you ain't going to be thinking about what's going on in Iran. Now, that's going to be one of the things that's happening. It's going to be like, damn, but Jake, you're going to have to focus on surviving in that time. It says, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. Okay, so one people going to stand up and fight against another. America's divided already, bro. All right? You got the whole world is divided. America going against, Iran. And people are gonna pick their sides with that. These other nations, these other countries, they're gonna pick their sides with that. But even within America, there's one people standing up against another. All right. The division here in America, all right, is going to be a part of America's downfall. All right. So to go back, that chapter 9, it says in verse 3, therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and upwards of the people in the world, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. So, these are the things that the Lord has spoke. All right. The earthquakes, upwards of the people in the world, all right, has already been spoken. All right. From the beginning of time, bro. The Lord has already prophesied these things. The Lord has already put these things into the scriptures, and we seen them. We taught them. We prophesied it through the spirit that the Lord put into us to be able to do it. All right. We went out. Brothers has been going out for years, bro, and the whole world is becoming a witness into this truth. All right. Majority of you can't just say that you didn't experience a brother out there, preaching the truth, or you didn't see anything on the internet or anything, bro. You have been warned in some way, shape, or form. It goes on, verse 5, it says, for like as all that is made in the world hath the beginning and the end is manifest. Okay? So the end is being manifest right now, man. All right? Everything in the scriptures that the Lord has spoken and prophesied, and written in his book through his prophets is being made manifest. All right? That's why the scriptures are so powerful, bro. All right? It's life within the word. Okay? So everything is, all the, the hell, the prophecies about, the pestilence, the vision, all these things are coming to pass. And it's coming to pass in our lifetime. All right? Let's see. Grab this as well. Divided. Oops. Let me see. I believe that's Matthew, if I'm not mistaken. This is Matthew. Actually, let me get it in my Blue Letter Bible. It's Matthew 12 and verse 25. I want to get this in the NLT. It says, Yahushua knew their thoughts and replied, any kingdom divided by civil war is doomed. A town or family splintered by feuding will fall apart. And if Satan is casting out Satan, he is divided. And this is what you're seeing here in America, bro. All right? So it won't just be a World War III. It's going to be a civil war. Race wars. All right? This thing is going down in history, man. We live in times of a time that's going to be written in history. Okay? For people to look back and study on. For Jake to look back and, in the kingdom and, and study upon, man. So this is what's happening. This is, America, Babylon the Great. All right. It's a great kingdom here. All right. Babylon is a great kingdom. So the Lord is going to make it an example, like he did every other kingdom. Okay? Like he destroyed every other kingdom. Every other kingdom has had its fall or is going to have its fall except for the kingdom of heaven, the kingdom of the Lord, bro. All right? It says, and if Satan is casting out Satan, he is divided and fighting against himself. His own kingdom will not survive. So Satan is casting out Satan. He divided. He fighting against himself, So he's, it's like a virus inside your body that's spreading, all right, from the inside. And that's what's happening. It's a virus inside America that's spreading, all right, where everyone's divided. No one's together anymore. America is no longer united. The states are no longer united. The people are no longer united. Everything is in division. And that's what the Lord says. I'll come to bring a variance, man. To bring division. That's a part of prophecy. Okay? So as we're getting closer and closer to the time the Lord is coming back, a division, all right, is being brought out throughout America, throughout the world. It says his own kingdom will not survive. So his kingdom won't survive, bro. Babylon is not going to survive. It's not going to have a happy ending here in Babylon. It's over, bro. The sins, the wickedness, and the abominations that this place have wrought up, all right, it's going to be burnt down. It says, and if I am empowered by Satan, what about your own exorcists? They cast out demons too, so they will condemn you for what you have said. But that was it. To really know the point, all right, is, America, all right, is in a division right now. It's divided. The world is divided. Esau is divided. So within that division, all right, is going to come their destruction. So, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying to the hopeful elect. And the ones listening in, I want to get into it quick. All right, so Laki, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Kakadash. Once again,